What's up, everybody? Welcome to Gatz Deli. Yeah, that's right. My fiance and I purchased a food truck. Come on in. This thing's about 3 months in the making, but we're just about ready to open. We purchased this thing in April for $33,000. I say we, but really LAMAR fronted all the money. She's the financial investor side of things, and I'm the brains and the muscle. Her handwriting is much better than mine, though, and that's why she's doing our chalkboard menu. She's still got to finish, right? But you can see the full thing over here. It's a build-your-own sandwich style menu. Now, my food options out here in 3 Points, Arizona have been very limited. And forget about finding a decent sandwich or deli in the Tucson area. It's next to impossible. And being from New Jersey, it really inspired me to do my own thing and open my own food truck. I have about a decade of experience in restaurants and delis and Italian eateries, so it just made sense. Just getting to this point has been quite the ordeal, though, but we have our LLC registered. We are insured. We have our permit to operate from the health department. We have our sales tax permit. We have our ServSafe certifications. All that's really left is for us to get our fire certification, and we will be good to open. When we bought this thing, it didn't have an automatic fire suppression system installed, which is required by law for any Type 3 food trucks, and that's what we're operating as. So we had to get this done, and our final inspection is just a couple days from now, so I'm hoping we're done with that. We pass, and we can finally start serving some sandwiches.
What if I just...
No! That's our last hurdle, but there were a lot of other headaches involved with getting this thing. Our first one was just buying it. See, we were looking on Facebook Marketplace, and I saw food trucks with no title. I saw food trucks with fake titles, faked VIN numbers, skip titles, you name it. So if you're shopping on Facebook Marketplace, be very careful, especially with vehicles. A lot of scammers out there. But we got this. It's suiting our needs great, and I'm happy with the purchase. Probably helps that I wasn't the one to pay for it. See, LAMAR saves her money much better than I do. I tend to blow it on all my property stuff and other endeavors, but I think she got a good deal on this thing. However, we did have to clean the hell out of it. It was filthy when we bought it. The trailer and all the kitchen equipment are in pretty good shape, though, especially considering the age of this thing, but we still did have to make a few modifications, the first one being the flooring. There was some disgusting linoleum or sheet vinyl in here that the health department was not okay with, and let's face it, it did not look pretty. So I went ahead and I installed aluminum diamond plate all throughout this thing. And because we're running a deli, of course I need a decent slicer, so we were able to find this one used for a pretty good deal. But because I'm using the counter space for food prep, I had to install a splash guard to the left of the hand washing station. We also had some exposed wood in our upper cabinets and down below in our chemical storage, so the health department official made sure that we coated it with a white enamel. The trailer originally came with a full stand-up freezer, however it was a residential model, not an NSF commercially approved one, so we had to replace it with a chest freezer, and also had to do that to make room for this thing. I also had to put in this spring to make sure the screen door automatically closed so none of the bugs would get in, but they still find a way in somehow.
He's pulling his cock out.
The equipment we got with this trailer does make up for the small issues. We got two 40-pound fryers, I got some new baskets and some lids for when we're transporting it. We got a 4-burner range and an oven underneath, which was the cleanest thing in this trailer. They must have never used the oven. A 36-inch griddle and a 2-pan steam table, which I don't really anticipate on using. This will be my bread slicing station. In addition, I have a sandwich prep fridge. I have a 3-bay sink already installed and a full stand-up refrigerator. It also came with a 100-pound propane gas tank for all our appliances, but I did have to redo some of the propane lines because when we got that fire suppression installed, it came with a mechanical shutoff that had to be tied into the system. I had to replace the water inlet here because the original was quite corroded, so we got that done, and I also had to extend the vent stack to terminate above the roof line. I had to replace one of the window supports and refasten some of the hinges because they were on their way out, but it's a small price to pay for the look of this. I feel like it's such an old school classic Americana vibe that you just don't see in food trucks right now. And before anybody comments, yes, I am aware of Gatz Deli with a K, the legendary New York eatery, and yes, the name is kind of a play on that, but also I'm Sean Gatz, and this is my deli, and it's also hers, and she's going to be LAMAR Gatz when we finally get married.
We have to be honest, I'm only here to shake ass in the deli.
I also get to be a retail location for a local Tucson hot sauce company called Desert Sauce Co. This sauce right here, the Tikhat Masala, was actually featured on season 15 of Hot Ones. The owner of this company, Zach, is actually the first person who recognized me when I made the move out here to Tucson. He had seen my content and we ran into each other in line at a Speedway gas station. He gave me a bottle of hot sauce to take home with me. I loved it, so it's funny to see this all come full circle. Stay tuned for the grand opening. I'm not quite sure when it's going to be, but if you're watching this, it's very possible we're already operating and serving sandwiches. We'll be parking on Ajo Highway in the 3 Points area. If you want to know the exact location though, you got to check TikTok or my Discord. Speaking of TikTok, I'm going to be live streaming my food service every single day that we're open. I'm trying to make myself a little stream setup because it's so hot out here. I need to keep my phone iced down to make sure it doesn't overheat while I'm streaming. I may also bring the streams to YouTube in the near future, but the cool thing about TikTok Live is I can integrate the gift feature into food service, meaning that if people send me a certain amount of gifts on TikTok Live, I can give out a free meal to somebody. But if you want to see that whole thing in action, you'll have to join me over there, at least for now. I'm excited to get back into full-time live streaming, but who knows, TikTok might be banned in the near future, at least according to the US government. And that's another reason why we went ahead and got the food truck, because let's face it, content creation is a little overrated. I feel like these influencers are a little bit out of touch with real life, and I want to get back to actual real work. So that's it. I hope we do well.
Hopefully we can run a successful and profitable business, maybe even eventually hire people down the line.
But for now, it's just going to be me and her slinging sandwiches out of this thing. Hopefully you can join us for one, or at least keep up with the content.
See y'all soon.